Hey guys, welcome back to another video today. So today I've got a special guest, Sandra, who was an ex-DVSA driving examiner that actually examined many of my pupils as well, which was actually a pleasure. So for those of you that are watching, I'll let Sandra introduce herself and let her obviously tell you a bit about what she's doing nowadays.
Thank you. So hello everyone. Yes, my name is Sandra, and like Hassan mentioned, I've worked as a driving examiner for 11 years, searching for driving test center. So I have great knowledge and experience when it comes to driving tests, and I'm able to quickly identify when the student is struggling. So I've qualified as a driving instructor. So now I'm, like Hassan says, on the other side, and I'm teaching manual and auto. So if you're interested in manual or automatic lessons, contact me or contact Hassan. Also, I specialize in I do mock tests. So I work with Hassan and we do mock tests,
a lot of mock tests
together.
Yeah, essentially what it is it helps the pupils acknowledge if they're ready to sit the driving test, right?
Yes.
And to assess whether they're at a test standard or not, identify the faults, and then obviously just make sure that we rectify their mistakes and get them ready to essentially pass in the driving test with a good standard.
Yes.
So essentially that's what myself and Sandra are obviously specializing in, the short notice sort of driving test, people with previous experience, as well as those of you that have never driven before and would like to get to a test standard, and within the quickest shortest time possible we get that done. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, do please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and thank you for the continued support. Now we're going to obviously give you a live tutorial of what the positional normal stops encounter and how many sort of normal stops you've got and the different types of normal stops. So we've got one which is obviously the generic normal stop. So Sandra, in regards to the normal stop, is there anything in particular you're looking out for when the candidate is doing a normal stop?
Of course, yes. So when you have the instructions to pull up on the left at a safe place, obviously we're looking, the first thing, like always, to check your mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we need to check the mirrors, we need to signal, and we need to slow down in plenty of time without braking harshly. Now, what we're also looking at, we're looking for the place that you stop to be, what we call it, SCULL?
Yeah, so safe, convenient and legal place
to stop. Okay, so it's got to be safe. So in regards to when we talk about safe, so you're not near a parked car, you know, or even if it's over the other side of the road.
Yeah.
It's got to be convenient, so you don't inconvenience other road users, you don't stop in front of people's driveways, double yellows, near junctions, red lines, and the list can go on. Okay,
right. I've got a question now in regards to the driveways.
Yes.
Now there's times where the examiners will obviously specify, don't worry about the driveway on this occasion. So can you go into a bit more detail in regards to that?
Sure. So there are occasions when the examiner probably is assessing something totally different, or he wants to do a maneuver or something else. So he's not looking for you to stop in a safe, convenient and legal place. He's looking for you to stop because he wants to do a maneuver or he wants to do something else. So when you hear those wordings, the examiner assured you that it's fine on this occasion to stop in front of a driveway, but he did specify that it's on that occasion.
Yeah, so it's not throughout the driving test.
It's not throughout the drive of your test. You're going to carry on stopping in front of people's driveway. So he did specify that on that occasion it's fine for you to stop in front of the driveway.
Right. Okay, that's brilliant. So we'll do a live demonstration now where Sandra will obviously give me the instructions when to pull up on the left. Okay.
That's
so Sandra,
great.
You can direct me for now what you're like to do. Yeah.
So drive on when you're ready.
Brilliant.
Pull up on the left at a safe place, please. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
That's actually a very good place to ask the candidate to pull up. You know why? Because as you mentioned that to me, actually, there's obviously a junction to our right.
Yes.
So if I was to pull up opposite that junction on the right, Sandra, would that occur a fault?
Well, of course, because it's an inconvenient place to stop. So if we have people coming out of that junction, isn't it? When we teach the students, what do we tell them?
Yeah, so obviously if there's a car parked opposite the junction, they're going to have to cut the corner.
Of
so
course.
It's posing a lot of inconvenience, especially if they're emerging to turn right.
Of course, and why would you inconvenience someone when
Yeah.
you can just park like 3 car lengths further back?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Brilliant.
And you have to assess these guys when you are driving and when you are asked to do these sort of things, because as instructors we teach them, isn't it? We teach as much as we can, but then you have to assess this. Is convenient if I stop here? What's gonna happen? Am I gonna block the roads?
Yeah.
Am I causing traffic?
I feel like from my experience, what I've noticed is many sort of candidates, they just think about the MSM routine, mirror signal maneuver, but they're not obviously asking themselves the question, where would it be safe, convenient and legal to pull over?
Yes.
So that's really important. Always, guys, always make sure that you're assessing where is it safe, convenient and legal. You don't want to pose any inconvenience, and obviously you don't want to pull over on an unsafe place and in an illegal place where you can obviously be breaching the law, getting a fine, etc, etc. That leads me on to my next question. In terms of the width from the curb they should pull up within,
Yeah.
what sort of width are we sort of kind of aiming for? What's the leeway in regards to that?
So we're teaching 1 foot, isn't it? So anything that's over that,
Yeah.
it's wrong.
Okay. Okay.
So if you're too close, it's you hit the curb, you clip the curb, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Everything that's over a foot,
Yeah.
it's
too
wrong.
wide. Yeah.
It's too wide, because what's gonna happen? So on this road, isn't it, the car doesn't even have to go significantly over the other side of the road to overtake us, isn't it? So if you're parking so wide that the car might have to drive over the other side of the road to go around us.
Right. Okay, that's good.
Does
That's
it
good
make
information.
sense?
Yeah, no, that's really good. I hope the viewers will obviously be noting down this valuable information. So now what we'll do is we'll go and talk about the next position on normal stop, which, should we like to do next? Should we do the angled start?
Yes.
Right, guys, so we've got step number 2 now, which is the angled start. So Sandra, before we obviously drive on, would you like to explain to the viewers what an angled start is?
Sure. So an angle start is basically when we have a car parked in front of us and we want to stop behind that parked car about a car length away from the parked car.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, that makes sense. So should we do that now?
Yes. Okay.
Cool. And then, guys, we'll talk about obviously what the examiners are looking for in regards to the angled start and why it can pose a challenge. So Sandra, when you're ready.
Drive on when you're ready. Pull up on the left. Well, just before you get to the next parked car, a car length away from it. Don't worry about the driveway on this occasion.
No worries.
That should be fine. Thank you. That's great.
So, Sandra, why are we mentioning a car length's gap? What's
Because
the purpose behind that?
The purpose is we don't want you to be too far away from the parked car, because we're looking at how you're going back into the flow of traffic.
Right.
So again, as when we teach the students, we teach them when you emerge, you shouldn't impede on the progress of other road users, isn't it? So when they're coming out from behind the parked car, they have to make sure they don't have an oncoming car that has to stop for them if the roads are narrow. There's no cars behind. So this is the reasoning why we have to do this, and we have to have the students prepared.
So essentially, from what I can gather from that, we're kind of assessing the pupil's control for steering, as well as if it's in a manual car, their clutch control, right?
Of course.
Because what it is, guys, is if there's limited space, you don't want to move away with so much speed.
Yes.
Because if you move off with a lot of speed and there's limited space, obviously you could get a clearance fault as well. You could get too close to the parked vehicle. So a tip I would generally give is try, essentially, when you do move off, control the speed of the car with the clutch if it is a manual transmission vehicle, and look to obviously steer roughly. Every instructor's got their own sort of technique, but I would suggest like a quarter or a half turn increment to the right, so that way you won't obviously get too close to the parked vehicle ahead of us. Is there any other sort of like tips you can give in regards to the angled start, where generally speaking, where most candidates from your previous experience tend to struggle? Just like a little tip where they tend to struggle on? So obviously they know.
Yes, so one that they're struggling with, it's exactly what you said, steering, you know, moving off and getting too close to the parked car, and also effective observations has, because when people are moving off, they're not taking observations, they're not looking properly behind and ahead, and if they impede on the progress of another road users, that can cause issues.
So guys, we don't want to become a hazard, right?
No, totally, no.
Now that's important. So guys, I hope obviously that's been a very detailed sort of guideline for you in regards to the angled start, and do make sure that you're practicing your angled starts with your instructor or trained supervisor in that regards, okay? Right, we'll go on to the next one. So guys, we're now going to obviously exemplify a hill start. So Sandra, what are we looking for on the hill start?
So again, on a manual car, obviously we want good control of the vehicle, isn't it? We don't want the car to roll back, we don't want the car to stall. We want to see how you can move off, having good clutch control. Right,
okay, that's good to know. So we'll now, guys, obviously demonstrate a hill start and the sort of gradient that you're looking at on the test as well. So when you're ready,
drive on.
It's fine.
It's good observations.
Oh man.
Okay, and pull up on the left just after the lamppost, please. That's great.
Yeah, that's a good steep hill, that is.
Okay.
So in regards to the hill start, I thought I'd share some knowledge. So for those of you that are obviously driving a manual transmission vehicle, I would strongly suggest that when you are obviously going to move away from a hill start, make sure that you have your biting point ready.
Yes.
But also to eliminate the car from stalling. Now, there's difference of opinion, depends on the car you're driving, whether it's a petrol or diesel. Irrespective of that, we should always set the gas. Make sure we set the gas, then find the biting point, because remember, the car needs more torque to move away on an uphill gradient. Use the analogy, guys, of riding a bike. When you ride a bike, you need to pedal even more vigorously going up the hill. Same thing with a car, it needs that extra bit of torque. That's what will help you eliminate the car from stalling. And also, when you're moving away, in regards to the clutch, make sure that you have a high biting point. So it's very important that you're learning your clutch control, assessing the different types of biting points that we've got, because sometimes there's a different sort of gradient to the biting point where the bonnet could rise, where the engine tone can change. Make sure that you assess the gradient and the biting point you need, and don't obviously launch off the clutch, guys. Make sure that you slowly raise the clutch. Now, Sandra, in regards to the hill start, if the candidate obviously, is there a margin for error in terms of the rollbacks? Like if they roll back a lot,
of course it is, yeah, of course it is. I mean, even if you look at us and when we drive, isn't it? I mean, it's not the end of the world if you just roll back slightly, you know, and then you quickly get your biting point and you go on the gas,
like
and you
touch.
It's but of course, we can't be rolling back, because if you're in traffic on a queue of traffic and you're rolling back, you will be hitting the car behind you. So the leeway, it's
very minimal, right?
It's very minimal. Well, because like you mentioned, you know, you need gas. It's sometimes technically impossible to move off from a steep hill without gas, and a lot of students are just moving off with the clutch.
And the car just stalls, it just struggles and stalls, cuts out, right?
It just goes stall after stall, and then that's again another issue, because you can't be stalling so many times, because again, if you will be having you're a full license holder and you will be doing that on the road,
pose a lot of inconvenience and frustration to other road users around us, right?
Exactly. So you need to remember, you know, that you are doing this in real life. It's not you're doing it once with your instructor and then that's it. You will be driving like that on the road. So
no, that's good feedback. So guys, one word of advice I would say is that those of you that are taking a test in Chingford Test Centre, make sure that you're familiar with the sort of gradients they've got, and make sure that you're executing and doing many hill starts.
Practice.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Yes, totally.
No, that's good. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please do make sure to like, share and subscribe.